So we decided to do this podcast, right? We decided to name it Beasts of America. You want to talk a little bit about that?
As a whole, I think it's good to try to have conversations that people are not trying to have. I'm definitely an advocate for the idea that, the way that you solve bad speech is with more speech.
I think probably the most important thing to me is free speech, and even a step beyond that is people not afraid to have conversations, not afraid to ask questions, and I think there's this weird feeling out there where there's some things you can wonder about that if just by wondering somehow makes you a bad person. And I totally disagree with that idea. I think that 100% the best way to combat bad speech is with more speech, right? I love that idea, but that's not it's scary that people want the route to sort of not have these conversations, and I think it's important to have as many of them as we possibly can.
And maybe bumble through and kind of look like fools and maybe not have the best idea, and maybe at the end of each of those conversations be a little further on a path of understanding something better.
Totally. Because I think that's important, is not only ideas coming across, but coming across and being talked about without being shouted about.
I think it should be fair to be said that neither one of us are, accredited in anything.
No formal education whatsoever.
No formal education whatsoever. We're two guys that are reading books and paying attention to the world around them and trying to report back to each other and to other people. And we don't pretend to be experts in anything that we are discussing.
Nope, not an expert.
Yeah, not an expert, yeah.
Not an expert, but I'm a lover of learning, so we decided to do this podcast.